Hey everybody, welcome back. You ever talked to animals before? I haven't. It's just or inanimate objects. I haven't either. I was just curious, so I thought I'd ask. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. It's good to see you guys. Pound it, bring it in. So this one's going to be a good one. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just telling the guys about a story about talking to donkeys. Oh, really? Yeah, yeah. Is it going to be a good one? I think it's going to be a great one. You guys will probably take a lot of fun in it. Enjoy it, is in other words. This guy's an idiot. Hey, that's not very nice. Whatever. Go back home. Oh, fine. So, yeah, that's basically what we're going to be talking about is about a talking donkey. Um, So this takes place in Numbers 22, and the whole story. It really goes from Numbers 22 to 23, and it's actually kind of hilarious if you think about it. So basically, there's this guy. His name is Balaam, Balaam, and he is a holy man, and first, originally, he is basically hired by the Moab king. His name is Balak, to curse Israel because Israel is they haven't moved in. They've moved to the edge of his kingdom, and he's heard of their success and how God is with them. How the Lord of Israel has brought them out of Egypt, and so he's threatened by them. So he sends messengers to this holy man, Balaam, and says, "Hey, please curse these guys for me." And so at first he says, "No, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to." Usually he does it in a little bit more persuasive way instead of just saying outright no to the king. But he says, he dodges it. Finally, though, he reluctantly agrees, and he decides he'll help. But on the way, as we will see, is while he's riding his donkey sees the angel of the Lord, and so the donkey freaks out, several times, and which causes Balaam to beat the donkey and basically get upset with it, and to the point that the Lord uses the donkey to speak to him to kind of get the message across. And I don't know, to me it's kind of hilarious because, like, oh, we'll just show. Alright. Now it's going to be a little bit of a longer one, so it's going to be a lot of reading, so I hope you guys, and yeah, you guys will, it will be good. You guys will enjoy it. And to give you probably a little bit more context, maybe, and like a little just extra pizzazz and flavor, maybe, I'll just read it from the Amplified. We won't do the New King James, although I recommend you do, because there's still stuff in there that the Amplified, yeah. Anyway, we're going to go from the Amplified, so it hopefully gives you like a little bit more of a pizzazz, a little je ne sais quoi, as you say. But anyway, so we're going to start actually at 22. Now, I recommend that you read all the way from the beginning of chapter 22 to 23. In fact, even 23 itself would be good. Just read the whole Bible, really. But anyway, we're going to start at 22:22. Yeah. Anyway. Then God's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the way as an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his donkey, and his two servants were with him. And the donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And the donkey turned aside out of the way and went into the field. And Balaam struck the donkey and turned her into the way. But the angel of the Lord stood in the path of the vineyard, a wall on one side and a wall on the other. And when the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, she thrusted herself against the wall, crushing Balaam's foot against it. and it was struck, and he struck her again. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in the narrow place where there were no room to turn, either on the right or on the left. And when the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it fell down on Balaam. Balaam's anger was kindled and struck the donkey with his staff. And the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey and said to Balaam, "What have I done to you that you should strike me these 3 times?" And Balaam said back to the donkey, like, didn't even hesitate, just like a normal conversation, as if it was a human being, said to the donkey, "Because you have ridiculed and provoked me, and you have beat and hurt me," is in the King James, but that's not here. But provoked me. I wish there were a sword in my hand, and now I would kill you. And the donkey said to Balaam, am I not your donkey in which you have ridden on all your life? Long until this day was I ever accustomed to do so to you, and and let me read that part again. And the donkey said to Balaam, am I not your donkey upon which you have ridden on your lifelong until this day? Was I ever accustomed to do so to you? And he said, no. Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, with his sword drawn in his hand, and he bowed his head and fell on his face. And the angel of the Lord said to him, why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? See, I come out to stand against you and resist you, for your behavior in willfully abstinent and contrary before me. And the ass saw me and turned from me. These 3 times, if she had not turned from me, surely I would have slain you and saved her alive. And saved her alive? That's what it says. I thought it was just me. Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, I have sinned, for I did not know you stood in the way against me. But now, if my going displeases you, I will return. The angel of the Lord said to Balaam, go with the men, but you shall speak only what I tell you. So Balaam went with the princes of Balak, which were the people that were accompanying him. When Balak heard of Balaam had come, he went out to meet him in the city of Moab, in the borders formed by the Arnon River, at the furthest end of the boundary. Balak said to Balaam, did I not earnestly send to you and ask you to come to me? Why did you not come? I am not able to promote you to honor. And Balaam said to Balak, indeed I have come to you, but do I now have any power at all to say anything? The word that God puts in my mouth, that shall I speak. And Balaam said to Balak, indeed I have come to you, but do I now have any power? Oopsies, I went right back and read the same one. I shall speak. Then Balaam went to Balak, and they came to Kerith Hazoth. And Balak offered oxen and sheep, and went and sent portions to Balaam and to the princes who were with him. And then the following day Balak took Balaam and brought him up into the high places of Baal, where from there he saw the nearest of the Israelites. So I thought it was kind of actually just interesting, because the Lord uses the donkey, and then the donkey's just like, because the donkey, like, I don't want to be killed, so he wanders off, gets hit for it, and then finally the donkey's like, I've had enough, sits down, and gets beat again. It's like, what are you beating me for? And like says this, and Balaam just without hesitation just responds right back to the donkey, as if it's normal, like it's talking. I can just see one of those movies where like they're just they start talking to themselves, and then somebody responds, and it's like either an animal or inanimate object, and then they're like, yeah, 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 and then a few seconds later they go, wait, and then they freak out. It didn't say he freaked out. Granted, but he did freak out when he saw the angel, but I just thought that was funny. But then, so not only does he use then the God used the donkey to speak to Balaam, sorry, um, but then he says, "You shall not say anything except for what I say." So then he uses him to speak like the donkey to the king. I just thought that was kind of funny. It was kind of almost a usage, well, not foreshadowing, but just how he first uses a donkey, then he uses Balaam. Just kind of cool. I thought it was a kind of cool, unique connection, and it was just a cool story because you don't hear about it. The donkey speaks. It's kind of cool. And then if you read the rest of the story, Balaam, he sees that these are the people of God, so he actually, instead of cursing them, he actually blesses them. And the king gets very upset, but he goes, I only speak what God tells me to speak. So it's pretty cool, pretty exciting, awesome story. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little bit more reading, but it's a great story. So I actually recommend that you go ahead and just read Numbers 22 and 23.